The McIntyre family farm was known throughout the county for its prized cornfields. But what the locals didn't know was that the McIntyres harbored a dark secret. The heart of their farm held a sinister presence that had haunted them for decades. The McIntyre farm had been in the family for generations. It was a sprawling expanse of rolling hills and golden fields of corn that stretched as far as the eye could see. But at the center of the farm, overlooking the vast cornfields, stood a solitary scarecrow, old and weathered. Its tattered clothes fluttered in the breeze, and its featureless burlap face seemed to watch over the land with an eerie intensity. The scarecrow had been there for as long as anyone could remember, passed down through the McIntyre family for generations. It was said to bring luck to the farm, ensuring bountiful harvests year after year. But as the years passed, the scarecrow took on a more ominous presence. It began with whispers among the farmhands. They claimed to hear the scarecrow talking to them in the dead of night. Its voice a soft, haunting murmur carried on the wind. The McIntyre children spoke of seeing it move, its burlap head turning to follow their every move as they played in the fields. One chilling evening, as the family gathered around the dinner table, they heard a frantic scratching at the windows. When they rushed outside, they found the scarecrow had come to life, its burlap face contorted into a grotesque grin. It spoke in an otherworldly voice, promising vengeance for disturbing its slumber. Terrified, the McIntyres attempted to burn the scarecrow, but it would not be destroyed. It laughed as the flames consumed it, its eerie laughter echoing through the night. The next morning, the scarecrow stood once again in the center of the cornfields, unharmed. As time passed, the malevolent scarecrow's presence became increasingly sinister. Crops began to wither and die, as if the very land itself had turned against the McIntyres. Livestock vanished without a trace, leaving behind only eerie, blood-curdling cries in the night. The McIntyre family began to wither as well, consumed by fear and desperation. They consulted local experts, who spoke of ancient curses and dark rituals tied to the scarecrow. It was suggested that the only way to break the curse was to unearth the scarecrow's origins and confront the darkness that dwelled within. With trembling hands, they delved into the family archives, uncovering a dusty journal from their ancestor, Jeremiah McIntyre, who had brought the scarecrow to the farm. Jeremiah's journal revealed a dark secret, an unholy pact he had made with a malevolent spirit in exchange for prosperity. The scarecrow was a vessel for that spirit, bound to the farm for eternity. Determined to break the curse, the McIntyres embarked on a perilous journey to the old abandoned church deep in the woods. There they found an ancient ritual that could banish the malevolent spirit once and for all. It required a sacrifice, a willing soul to take the spirit's place. As the moon hung low in the night sky, the McIntyre family gathered around the scarecrow. They recited the incantation and offered themselves as sacrifices to protect future generations from the curse. The scarecrow's malevolent laughter echoed one final time as it crumbled to dust, releasing the spirit into the night. The curse was broken, but at a great cost. The McIntyre family vanished that night, their sacrifice ensuring the farm's salvation. The fields, once withered and cursed, flourished once more, but the scarecrow's legacy remained etched in the memories of those who knew the truth. It stood as a cautionary tale of the darkness that could lurk in the most unexpected of places, waiting to be awakened by the sins of the past. Nestled at the edge of a quiet rural town stood the Thompson family farm. It had been in the Thompson family for generations, and each year they relied on their apple orchard to make a living. But one autumn, a sinister presence began to make itself known. The Thompsons started noticing strange occurrences. Apples would fall from the trees with no wind to explain their descent. At night, eerie whispers filled the air, echoing through the orchard. The family dogs refused to go near the trees, whimpering in fear. One fateful evening, as Mr. Thompson ventured into the orchard with a lantern, he saw something that chilled him to the bone. Shadows danced among the apple trees, their forms twisting and contorting. Desperate to unravel the mystery, he reached out to touch one of the shadows. It felt icy cold, like death itself. As weeks passed, the shadows grew bolder. They began to manifest into grotesque shapes, resembling human figures with hollow, pitiless eyes. Terrified, the Thompsons abandoned their farm, leaving behind the cursed orchard that had once sustained them. Years went by, and the orchard remained untouched. Local legend spoke of the haunted trees, and children dared each other to approach the edge of the property. But the horrors were far from over. One stormy night, a group of adventurous teenagers decided to investigate the abandoned orchard. Armed with flashlights and bravado, they ventured into the dark, overgrown rows of apple trees. The wind howled through the branches, creating an eerie symphony of whispers. As they reached the heart of the orchard, the shadows stirred. The teenagers' flashlights flickered, casting eerie silhouettes on the gnarled trees. Panic set in as they realized they were not alone. A spectral figure, draped in tattered garments, emerged from the darkness. Its face was a twisted mask of torment. The teenagers screamed and scattered, but the shadows pursued them relentlessly. One by one, they were dragged into the depths of the orchard, their terrified cries silenced by the malevolent forces that had taken root there. The next morning, the town awoke to an eerie sight. The apple trees in the haunted orchard were laden with plump, blood-red apples. The townsfolk knew better than to touch them, for they bore witness to the horror that lurked within. To this day, the Thompson family farm remains abandoned, a grim reminder of the sinister orchard that claimed the lives of those foolish enough to trespass. The haunting whispers and chilling shadows endure, a warning to anyone who dares to approach the cursed land, a land forever known as the Harvest of Shadows. The Cooper family farm had always been a place of hard work and prosperity. But that all changed when they discovered an ancient well hidden deep within their property. Its stone walls were etched with ominous symbols, and its waters ran dark and cold. The farm had been in the Cooper family for generations, passed down from father to son. It was a place where hard work was rewarded with bountiful harvests, and the Coopers took great pride in their land. But beneath the idyllic surface, the farm held a dark secret, a well that seemed to whisper secrets to those who dared to listen. Curiosity got the best of young Ethan Cooper, who decided to draw water from the well one moonless night. As he dipped the bucket into the abyss, he heard faint whispers rising from the depths. Ignoring the unsettling sensation crawling up his spine, he filled the bucket and brought it to the surface. That water tainted everything it touched. Crops grew twisted and deformed, with gnarled roots and poisonous fruit. Livestock that drank from it became sickly and aggressive. And worst of all, those who consumed the water began to change, their once kind hearts turning dark and sinister. Soon, a madness overcame the Coopers. They believed the well demanded a sacrifice to quench its thirst for blood. One by one, they lured unsuspecting travelers to their farm, offering them tainted water before brutally ending their lives. The once peaceful farm became a nightmare, a place of blood-soaked horror that would haunt the region for generations. As the years passed, the farm earned a sinister reputation. Travelers avoided the area, and even the bravest souls in the nearby town spoke in hushed tones about the cursed Cooper farm. It became a place of dread, a dark spot on the landscape that seemed to draw evil like a magnet. One stormy night, a group of paranormal investigators decided to explore the legend of the Cooper farm. Armed with cameras, EVP recorders, and a healthy dose of skepticism, they ventured into the heart of the cursed property. Their goal was to capture evidence of the supernatural and lay to rest the dark stories that had plagued the town for generations. As they neared the ancient well, the investigators felt an oppressive weight in the air. The whispers from the depths grew louder, like a chorus of tormented souls. The well itself seemed to pulse with malevolent energy, casting eerie shadows in the moonlight. One investigator, a skeptic at heart, dared to dip a finger into the dark water. It sent a shockwave of icy dread through his body, and he recoiled in terror. But it was too late. They had awakened something ancient and malevolent. The investigators set up their equipment, eager to capture evidence of the supernatural. But as they began to ask questions and take photographs, the farm itself seemed to come alive. The cornfields rustled as if moved by invisible hands, and the wind carried chilling whispers that spoke of vengeance and despair. Then, as if responding to the investigators' presence, the spirits of the Cooper's victims emerged from the shadows. Their spectral forms were twisted and contorted, their faces etched with agony. They reached out to the living with icy hands, their eyes filled with a hunger for retribution. Panic set in as the investigators realized they were trapped in a nightmare. The malevolent spirits of the Cooper farm closed in, their unearthly screams echoing through the night. Desperate to escape, the investigators ran for their lives, but the spirits pursued them relentlessly. Only one of the investigators survived that fateful night, but he was forever scarred by the horrors he had witnessed. The Cooper farm remained cursed, its dark secret hidden from the world, but known to those who had dared to confront the darkness within. To this day, the ancient well on the Cooper farm stands as a grim reminder of the blood-soaked harvest that cursed the land. The whispers from its depths continue to torment the few who dare to venture near, serving as a warning of the malevolent forces that can be unleashed when curiosity leads to the darkest of discoveries. Thank you for watching. If you have your own eerie stories or suggestions for future videos, let us know by sending us a mail through wisewalk35@gmail.com. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video as captivating as I did. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so, and leave your comments in the comment section. And let's keep the eerie conversations going. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe. Your likes tell us that you're hungry for more dark mysteries and disturbing stories. And remember, when you're out in the countryside, beware of what may hide in the shadows. Goodbye for now.